Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to take a look at 14.2, which released earlier this evening. There's a lot of small details in this update that if you overlook them, they could end up ruining your time. So I want to make sure to give you those details that you might not be able to understand just because it's, completely in Japanese, and maybe even if you do know, you overlooked it because it's really easy to do. So without further ado, let's begin with the temple upgrade, which is probably the most exciting thing in 14.2. Basically how this works is if you go to the temple now, you should start seeing a new icon on the top right. Ignore that one for now, but what this is doing is keeping track of the gold berries you have thrown away. And why that's important now is because as you throw away berries, that actually means that particular berry will never come back. Up until now, how it worked was when you ate a berry of the same type would be the floor in terms of what we get. So if you got an S knockout, you would never see anything below that for a knockout. Now, you can actually throw away that S knockout and you will never see a S knockout again. So let's take a look at the UI real quick. So if you click that button, you should be able to see all possible S, S plus, and S plus plus berries that you can get in the game. That's 93 different combinations, 31 different types, 3 rarities. As you throw away them, you basically kill them from your pool. They will never come back. Unless you do one of 3 things. One, and this is probably the most common way to do it, is if you eat any berry. That's right. This is the important thing that I think people are overlooking. You cannot eat any berries on your quest to get a certain one. So, let's say you're looking for that S++ knockout. You get like the speed up, you get the attack up, you get the life up. You don't care about that. You don't care about detox. You're just throwing them out. You get 10, 20, 30, 40, and then, oh, you get an S++ knockout, let's say, and like, you know what, that sounds interesting, maybe I'll take that. The moment you eat that, all the berries you threw out, they come back into your pool now. You're back at 0 out of 93. Okay, so always keep in mind that when you eat an able berry, you reset the pool and all previously thrown out S or higher berries come back into play. Alright, you've been warned. You're a watcher of my stream. You should know how this works now. There's of course 2 other ways. They're pretty straightforward. If you throw away everything and you don't have any more options anymore, the game will automatically reset for you. You can also reset halfway in between your farming. Hit that red button on the bottom right. Everything comes back. Now, this is also important. This is not per monster. This is as a user. Right, so if you're farming for Arthur and then decide to swap for somebody in like the Abyss 0 or Abyss 1, and you end up suddenly going for poison, you're still going to the same pool, right? So if in doubt, always double check by clicking that icon on the top right. But this is for you as a user, not per monster. All right, and we can see this in action. Let me throw. I did a temple run earlier. And so as you can see, I got the Survivor S berry. And I don't need that for Iris. So I'm just going to throw it away. Right? So important. I am not going to eat anything. Right? And if this will let me play the video. There you go. So I'm not eating anything, throwing it completely out. Nope. Got frozen again. Come on. There we go. So I turned them all into morlings, which means I threw out that particular berry. When you are done with that, you can go back to the temple screen, hit the top right. I think you could actually click it in the results screen there. But once you go back to the temple page and inspect what your potential berries are, you see that it's down to 1 out of 93, and that particular berry that I threw out the Survivor S is now blacked out. And that is your indication that S Plus will never come. Cool? And you see that the reset button is now active. Now, as you may have seen, the gold guaranteed berry is actually gone as an option. Once 14.2 released, there was a bunch of bugs, and one of them that they couldn't fix was the fact that it didn't necessarily give you that gold guaranteed when you completed a stage, which is not good. So since they weren't able to fix it, they just disabled it off outright, and they said they would update it once they can fix it, but until then, there's no gold guaranteed temples, so you're gonna have to do it old school style. Hopefully you can survive that. Okay, so that's the temples. The other thing is, as you can see here, that the temples no longer rotate on a daily basis. All 5 temples will be available at the same time every day of the week. That's great. And that doesn't, that isn't restricted to the temples themselves. It also applies to the daily quests. So if you're farming for Charles, right, you don't have to wait a specific day to get a specific color. You don't have to wait for the turtles, dragon gems, these materials. They're all there every day now, which is great. I know I'm like short on max stones a lot, so you can do the max stone quest specifically. You don't have to wait until Thursday night in the US to do that, right? It's just there. So whenever you feel like it, and probably dragon gems, for those of you who are starting late, hadn't had that stockpile of dragon gems that others may have at the beginning of the year or beginning of the game. So this is a pretty cool update. Now, there's one side effect out of this, and that if it won't save your previous teams because they probably had to reset everything into one new, grouping of stages. So because of this, all your previously used monsters have been reset. So you're going to have to do that over again. But that's fine. Small price to pay for this cool update. Next up is the rank gacha rewards. You can get this from the mission page. So just go here and click it. And basically, starting from rank 200, every 100 ranks you achieve, you will get a free 6-star pull. Now, it's not guaranteed to be a new monster, so it's still free, no complaints, right? However, once you hit the 500 rank mark, so 500, 1000, or 1500, getting there guarantees you a limited monster. And there's not many of those out there, and you can do that just by increasing your rank. So by doing this, it definitely does incentivize you more to level up your rank, right? It doesn't, we've had the library, we've had team count, and of course stamina, probably the only reason that motivated others to do ranking. But getting a free monster is pretty good. Now, they did state that they don't intend to increase the pool. So this includes monsters all the way up to July 2nd, 2019. So it does include Sherlock Holmes, but wouldn't include Plumeria, for example. So this is pretty cool. I'm going to roll these at a later date, but all you have to do is claim them from your missions, and then you'll get a special orb that you can pull on the gacha screen. Alright, next up is the Max Luck Reward bonus. You can go to this page, right? The bonus. Just click your rank number on the top. It'll get you this page. Hit the middle tab and you can see the rank bonuses have increased from 150 and expanded all the way up to 300. And I'm sure this is gonna excite a lot of you who have been continuing max lucking monsters, that once you hit 200 you will get another 100 orbs, and 300 also gets you another 100 orbs. So if you've already crossed 300, you're getting 200 orbs right away with this update, which is amazing. In addition, you can see this 290 luck reward is the HP boost bonus when you clear a stage. That bonus goes all the way up to 70% of your missing health. So, whew, that's pretty darn good. I know Shiro from Game With has been like, don't do that, don't do that. It really changes the game by healing up that much, right? Like, if you had 100k health, let's say you hit all the way 0, 50,000 versus 70,000, 20,000 HP is a lot. So that 20% bonus is quite good. So for those of you who have hit 290 max lux, congrats for that perk. Alright, here's another big update in the Tower of Champions. Actually, I don't have much to show you because I haven't completed it yet. But you can now skip up to the 30th floor. There are some caveats to that. It is tied to your Renpa no Michi, the red tower. You can't see it yet because I haven't cleared the Tower of Champions. But however far you get on that dictates how much extra floors you can skip. And the skip is for free. It will still be 230 stamina. However, it's capped at the 30th floor. So let's say you died on the 26th floor of the Tower of Champions, or the red tower, Renpa no Michi. You can skip for 230 stamina, which is the cost for skipping to 20. You can now skip to 26. And you're fine. You'd have to run it again because you died there, but at least you got those 6 floors, 20 through 25, for free. Right? Now let's say you finished it. You still have to skip all the way to 30. You can't skip to the end. That's not how this works. You'll still have to run 30 again, but at least, you know, you're limited to those 11 floors to finish rather than having to do 20. And I think that really does make the red tower a little bit more, incentivizes people to do it a little bit more, because skipping those for free, you know, a lot of people probably don't want to do the red tower again. I reluctantly do it every time just for like the paltry orbs, but of course I'll do the normal Tower of Champions because that's a boatload of orbs for free. But you know, now probably going to be a little bit more careful so you can at least hit the 30th floor so you can get those free floor skips. Because remember, the red tower is also free stamina, so if it allows you to shortcut the next month, I think that's a great change. So again, results are tied to your previous month's result on the red tower, so you're going to have to do it over and over again, right? Each month dictates how far you skip, and stamina used is unchanged at 230. Alright, player badges have been adjusted, so now you can go to your player badge, hit your rank number on top, hit the left tab, and then hit your icon there on the right. I think it's just an empty slot if you haven't done it before. But now you can start using 5-star maxed out monsters. So what I mean by that is, for 5-star monsters, their max luck is 90, right? You can see them with a blue clover instead of green clover. You can now use them as a badge as well. Previously, you had to have them as a 6-star, and you could use their max luck there, right? They were the 6-star monsters that only have 1 luck, like the Oragons. You could use that before, but you were stuck when it came to the 5-star. And this is going to be important for collab monsters, right? There's a bunch of great collab characters who are relegated to the 5-star status just because there wasn't room for them, right? Now you can use them, and I think there's a lot of favorites there in the 5-star pool that you can use. So for those of you out there who were hoping for that, I know there were a bunch out there. It's live now. Okay, number 7, we've got some cool extra rewards for Chouzetsu, Bakuzetsu, and Gouzetsu quests. And how that works is, when you clear all of one difficulty type set, I really should write set there, but each set gives you a reward. If it's a Chouzetsu difficulty, you get a title for that and a biscuit. If it's a Kai series, that's also one. If it's a Bakuzetsu, you get 2 biscuits and a separate title. If it's a Gouzetsu line, it's 3 biscuits and another title. And if you happen to max luck all in one difficulty type set, again a set, so Izanami, Kushinada, Yamatake, Izanagi, and Tsukuyomi, if you max luck all 5 of those in that set, you'll get 5 orbs. Cool. Now, as you can see, my stats there, I have completed all but 2 of those, and I have not max lucked any of them because it's a pain in the butt. And so here's the screen here. You can see the clear status of all of them. Again, you have to be the one hosting to get the clear, right? You know, the clear orbs. So it's also a good indicator to say, oh, hey, I haven't actually cleared this in the event. Maybe you did it from the Jades or the library. And you can also see the luck. So as you can see in the original series, I got up to 57 on Tsukuyomi and then got tired of it. But since I cleared everything, you can click that blue button there and collect the biscuit as a reward. And like I said, since it's a Gouzetsu impossible quest, it's only one biscuit. If I was able to max luck all of them in that line, I would be getting 5 orbs out of it. But unfortunately, I'm not there yet, so no orbs. But I mean, that does mean a decent chance to get orbs. I wouldn't say it's a big motivator to get orbs, but you know, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And then the Taiwan series will end there soon. So you'll have the chance to get 45 through all the impossibles. You have the Gouzetsus Bakuzetsus as well. That also applies to them. For these, if you are able to clear all of them in a line, you get 2 biscuits rather than 1. And if you're able to do the same for the Gouzetsus, you can get 3 biscuits. The orbs are still 5 though. As you can see, I'm just short of clearing however you pronounce it. And just 1 short of Raudra. I got close last time, but gonna have to deal with 1 more session. So those are the rewards for clearing Gouzetsu, Bakuzetsus, and Gouzetsu quests. It's a nice plus alpha. I wouldn't say it's gonna motivate me to max luck them, but of course, getting some more biscuits this way, that makes me a happy camper, right? Alright, number 8. The number of max lucky monsters are going to be increased to 6. You can't see it in game yet, I think, because it'll start next week. But the 6th slot is going to bias towards time-limited monsters. So what I mean by that are like the X Flag Special Monster, Flag Junior and X Dragon, or the yearly Zodiac Monster quests that come up. Those monsters are going to be in that 6th slot. So by focusing on those, time-limited events, you're going to help yourself in the future get that 1 max luck in your pocket. Having to have less work in the future. Save your future self from doing extra work by already doing it. So that's a cool tweak, to the lucky monsters. Number 9 is a simple one. When you clear a stage, normally you would get 100 souls on a standard clear. You would get 200 now. So, if you have bad luck, what took 10 attempts to max out your quota for the day is going to go down to 5. In addition, when you get a lucky clear, which just happens randomly, it was 300, it'll now be boosted to 500. So if you get 2 luckies, you're done for the day. Simple update. Number 10, there's another tweak towards Gouzetsu quests. The highest difficulties are stockable now. Of course, the newest series starting with Moral, there's only 1 difficulty, so that doesn't really mean anything there. But something like Shiringala or Karna, you will now be able to stock that highest difficulty and run it at a later date. So you don't have to do it at, 5 a.m. Pacific anymore, which is great. You still have to be up to stock it, but at least you don't have to run it then. In addition, biscuits and miracle mins will be available for you, so you can help speed up your farming count by getting those Gouzetsu wins, or the biscuit wins. And miracle min, if you get close and you just want to finish it, that's an option now. However, it is only available up to Moral, so Paradox and beyond, for whoever comes later, will not be stockable, biscuitable, or miracle minable. So keep that in mind. Number 11, there's a few tweaks on the monster pages. You can see here that, let's use Deku, who's coming for this collab. If you're curious about abilities, again, this is stuck in Japanese, so if you don't know Japanese, it's not very helpful, but you can see there's a question mark now on your abilities. You can click it to get details about said abilities. So Mao Killer is any enemies that is of the Mao class, you do 1.5 damage to them. Or Mafuji, which is very ambiguous, right? If you don't know what it is in the first place, you don't know the details, right? It's actually a slayer to the Majin and the Mazoku classes. 2 of them, right? Demon's Bane in NA, if you remember that. It also does 1.5 times. And there's a bunch of new abilities that have come, right? Like SSXL, XS Charge. What's the difference between those two? What's a vital killer? Stuff like that. Again, it is limited to those of you who can't actually read Japanese, but for the general public who play this game, this is really great because it gives you just another opportunity to find out what it is in game rather than having to go to Game With, for example, to figure out what that actually means. Oh, ooh, I missed one. So there's also a way to enter quests. Sorry, it's not by the monster page, but the schedule. Let me fix that. If you go to the schedule, and that monster is in the library, for example. So I think we need to scroll down to like Izanagi. Here we go. Before it will give you the indication that, hey, this quest is in the library. Well, now you can just click that button and you go straight into the library and can take on that stage right then and there. So that's a nice quality of life update. Again, you know, if you are just looking in the schedule for whatever reason, it's like, you know what, I want to do that now instead of waiting until Friday at 11 p.m. right? I've got other things to do. Again, click it, scroll down, there'll be an orange button there that takes you straight to the library. Hopefully, if you don't have enough plays or you're not at a specific rank yet, it won't show. Alright, number 13, this is just an image real quick, but you can, well, not yet, but you can start downloading things in the background, right? You don't need to have the app up to download things, it'll just do it for you. Now, as part of the upgrade, like I said earlier, similar to the temple bug, this is also bugged out. It was actually not downloading it 100% correctly, which was contributing to possible data corruption. Not good. So this is actually disabled right now, but you can see that checkbox, you know, when you first open up the game, you know, you have some downloads, you can click that button, close the app, and do other stuff, and it should do it in the background. But again, right now it is disabled because it was bugging out and causing data corruption. So don't worry about that for now. Next, just some miscellaneous updates. When you're at the end of a stage, you know that almost there, the dun, 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 dun. No, is that right? Dun, 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 dun. You know, that fanfare at the end of the stage. They have changed the timing of when that occurs. I think it just starts on the last gauge, but usually before it was when its entire health was at 20% of its max. So that just gets tweaked a little. 15, they're gonna tweak when the you have new mail icon shows up. Basically, if you have already logged in before and you have seen it, it actually won't show up anymore. If you are curious to go back and you just want to check, you can scroll down and look for the word box. It's in English. Just click that and you can go to your mail that way. In case you're trying to find something and it's just not showing up, you can still get there. There's also a small tweak to the shop UI. The banner is actually now on the top of the screen, which makes sense because now you're guaranteed to see it regardless of your phone size. Very important for Mixi X Flag, I'm sure, that it's always visible rather than, you know, scrolling for it. And as you can see, I haven't bought anything yet. It's still free to play. So, but making that easier for people to buy. I see what you're trying to do there. And last, I think that's it. So, whoa, let me just get myself back on the screen. So, as I said, there's a lot of little details that you might want to take care of. You know, don't get mistaken with the Ableberry stuff. You know, understand why that Goldberry isn't there. Utilize the bonuses for the Gouzetsu stuff, right? Unless you go in there and claim it yourself, you're not getting those rewards. So if you never, I mean, I don't think a lot of people will go in there. So just, you know, occasionally come in here, check to see if you've got a new clear. I mean, you should know if you max select it. and grab the rewards that way. So that's it for me today. Let me know if you have any questions with the update. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. Look out for the ranking videos. Those should get pulled in the near future. And of course, the collab has started for My Hero Academia. So I've got a lot more to go over in the near future. So look forward to that. And until next time, bye-bye.